live. All right, there we go. Hello, hello. It's good to see you guys. Let me see if I can make my screen a little bigger here. Okay, yeah, so I'm doing this from a whole different angle and a whole different setup. And of course, I should have made my bed. All right, hi guys. Let me know that you can hear me. Just somebody either give me a thumbs up, send me hearts. Lots of good stuff to cover this evening. Lots of things to cover. And Sherry, thank you so much for bringing up the wild animals, all the animals that are impacted by the wildfires. And having lived in Colorado during one of the most severe wildfires ever, I have some insights that I can give you guys, also from a Reiki perspective. Some insights about our animal companions. So, all right, good. Thank you so much. All right, so hello, everybody. Elaine, the animal Reiki lady, coming to you live with our weekly SoulPet program for dedicated. This channel is dedicated to all those who have had animals that have crossed to the other side and are either in the depth of grief right now or healing from that grief or looking for a community of people to support you. That's what this channel is all about. Let's say hello to everybody. You know how live streams go. If you are catching this on the replay, you got to give me a minute or two just to settle in, get comfortable, say hello to everybody. You can always scroll forward, but I encourage you to read through the comments because we have an awesome family of people here. The SoulPet family is amazing. You guys rock. Okay, so let's see who we've got here, and I will say hello, then I'll talk about what we're going to cover tonight. You know, I've got to keep my book handy, and I don't have it here. Magnificent Sales. Lauren, right? Okay, I'm pretty sure that's it. Robbie, thank you always for the You Look 18. Isn't that so nice? 18, yeah, add quite a few decades to that. Sherry, welcome. And yes, we are going to talk about the animals that have been impacted. Elizabeth, good to see you. Who else have I got? Kali, Kathy, Donna. Who else? I'm just scrolling through here real quick. Jody, good to see you. Sharon, hello. Jen, hello. LB, awesome to have you here. And Fatima, good to see you here too. So for everybody else who joins, I will say hello to you as I can. This is just me, myself, and I. One of these days, we'll have it some kind of administrator once the channel gets a smidge bigger. We're getting there, though. We are getting there. 6.5 thousand. So happy, like just beyond happy. So thank you guys so much for all of your support. So some things that we're going to talk about tonight. It is a full moon, and it's the first full moon of 2025. It's known as the wolf moon. So I am going to talk about what that means and how the power of the full moon works. So we're going to be both practical and a little woo-woo tonight. We'll talk about the wild animals and all of the animals. So wild animals, farm animals, family animals that have all been impacted by the wildfires. That's probably going to be the first thing that we deal with. I don't know if this person is here tonight, so tell me if you are, because I don't know your name. I posted a video earlier today, and it was about my time with Cosmo. And it makes my voice crack a little bit because I'm not in Cosmo's area anymore, so I won't be seeing Cosmo for a few months. And Cosmo is a golden doodle who is one of my regular dog sitting clients. One of the unintended consequences of sharing Reiki with animals is that when I do a Reiki session, all of a sudden there are humans reach out to me for dog sitting, and I love that. But Cosmo is one of my first and one of my favorite dog sitting clients. So it's going to be a little difficult to be away from him for so long, but he's totally awesome. And I love him with all my heart. And the video that I posted today was the fact that I fall in love with every dog that I meet, and not just every dog. I do happen to have there's something about there. And there's even been, I've just caught up with looking through like the channel lineup, and I saw something on the, was it the History Channel? But there's something about the makeup of people who prefer to be in the company of cats, people who prefer to be in the company of dogs, that there's something within our psychology. But mine happens to be dogs. I love dogs. I love horses. But in reality, I love all animals. And I fall in love with every single animal I meet. So if I'm walking down the street and there's a squirrel, I'm talking to the squirrel. If I'm standing at the light rail station and the pigeons are at my feet eating the peanuts that I've scattered, I'm in love with every pigeon. I love them all. And the video I posted was about falling in love with every animal and how it doesn't diminish the love that I feel for Jack, Lucy, and Winston, who are all on the other side. In fact, I love them even more. And it shows me that my heart is bigger than I could ever believe that the energetic, my physical heart has nothing to do with it. My energetic heart has so much space, has so much room for love. And the more I love, the more healed I become. In fact, I feel pretty much healed from Lucy, Jack, and Winston's crossings. It's been years for them all now. And I carry a memory of the grief, but the more I love on other animals, excuse me, the more, as my voice cracks, the more I love them. So somebody reached out today to talk about her dog that had passed, a British Lab, and how she looks forward to the day when maybe there is someone, I don't even know if it's a he or she, when there's another dog in their life, but for now it's really tender and her heart really hurts. And there was a sign that she said, I think that your video was a sign. And Doggy's name was right on the tip of my tongue and now it's gone, but that's okay. And I said, when you think it's a sign, it's a sign. That's the way that it works. Our animal companions reach out to us all the time. Every single one of you who are in this community knows this. They reach out to us in every possible way we can imagine. And if the thought crosses our mind, I wonder if that was a sign, then the answer is yes, it was a sign. It's more than a sign, because today my husband brings me something, and I've never actually heard of a British Lab. I think I might have heard of an English Lab, but the term British Lab has not ever come up before today. And the person who reached out to me in a little comment talked about her British Lab. And so my husband hands this to me. Look at this. He brings this home today. And he says, I just met this guy. He said, I can't remember where he was. My husband will talk to anybody. He said, I just saw this guy and I started talking to him and he handed me this brochure because this is what he does. And I have my own feelings about breeders, but that's a topic for a whole different day. The point is, British Labs comes up for another time. So there's yet another sign for you. And here's yet another sign. So my husband says to me, he hands me this. And I said, does this mean that you are ready to bring another dog into our home? It's going to make me cry, my voice crack again. He started to cry and he said, no, that's really not it. But it made me think. And so I think that's a sign too. Like when you feel that first nudge, when you feel that first inclination, when that question comes up in your mind, that means that your heart is opening. That's what it means. Your heart is opening. So I just take that as huge signs all the way around. British Labs, that you got a sign by seeing the video, and then this British Labs. So there we go. Let me check comments real quick and see if anybody else has joined us. Isn't your one tattoo a wolf for Lucy? Yeah, so my tattoo that you can't see because of where it is, maybe you can see it a little bit if I go like that. There she is. My tattoo of Lucy is a wolf, and tonight is the wolf moon. And the reason that it's a wolf, and I want you guys to think about this. The reason that I have the wolf tattooed on my arm in memory of Lucy with blue eyes is because when she crossed, and hers was an assisted crossing, some of you have heard this story before. Hers was an assisted crossing, and when she crossed, she took only one breath. And it was it was like a really deep breath. She filled all of her lungs so full, and then she exhaled. And as she exhaled, and I know I'm a little woo-woo, I get it. I'm in for a penny, in for a pound with all this stuff. I felt her energy not just flow through me, I felt it flow into me. I felt like she didn't go out into the universe, that her energy wasn't just surrounding me, and it was inside of me. I felt her energy so strongly and so deeply. And when I slept that night, the dream I had was of a wolf with blue eyes. And I knew that that was her higher self. Like all of us have a higher self, so do all animals. And I felt that when she crossed, she stepped into that version of her higher self. And the dream was so vivid and the picture was so vivid that I reached out to my friend and said, you must put this on my arm. So this is one of a kind. My beautiful friend, Shirley, created the art and then tattooed it for me. Okay, so yeah, so it's extra special under the wolf moon. And today, as I'm looking for graphics, right, so as I'm making up all the things, and I'm playing with all these wolf and full moon graphics for all my social media posts, and I couldn't have had more fun with that because the wolf is clearly my spirit animal. Love, love, love wolves. And I've seen twice. No, I've seen two wolves together one time in the woods when I lived at the top of the mountains. And it was the most magical experience ever. And if I ever came upon a wolf, I would just, I would like to be a wolf. Okay, more comments. So this is Lucy's full moon. Oh, yes, it is. It stopped. I don't know what stopped, Kathy. I might be missing some of the comments. So you can tell me if something stopped, if something's not working. Yes, I carry her with me now. Yeah, she's amazing. Lucy is she's my girl. She's the one who started all this. It's her inspiration that it took me a couple years to work up the guts to actually like press the go button for this, but she's the one who really inspired me to make these connections for people on the other side of life. Let's talk about the wild animals. That's really important beyond the full moon. The full moon is wonderful. It's beautiful. It's magical. I'm going to share with you some techniques that you can use to help yourself really tap into the power of the full moon, because there is a power to it. Some of you who, if anybody works in healthcare, you'll validate for me, I'm certain, that there's a shift in in hospitals and emergency rooms with mental health patients, with new births, there's all kinds of things when it comes to the full moon. And then there's a lot of people who say that it's all wives' tale, that there's nothing substantial to it. But I have some insights that I'm going to share with you about that. So I'm not nuts. There was a clicking noise. Oh, I did not realize. I wonder what that was. It might have been my bracelets, like I was playing with my bracelets. Who knows? Don't know. But as long as it stopped, that's good. Once I did a whole intro to animal Reiki video, did not know that there was a clicking noise going on the whole time. Is what it is. I am like when it comes to videos now, anything can happen and it's all good. Anything has happened and it's all good. Let's talk about those wild animals. Yes, the wild animals and all of the animals that are impacted by the wildfires right now in California. If anybody has been watching any of the sporting events, like the boys in my family are all about the sports, and I'm footballed out. But they did a lot of, before every game, there's moments of silence for the people who are impacted. But the animals really are impacted also. And they're impacted in a way that we don't always understand. And it's hard for us to wrap our minds around that there can be, I hear Jack. Oh my gosh, Jack. I hear Gypsy getting into something, but it might be my husband. All right, we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so it's definitely my husband. We're good. So the animals in wildfires, there's a couple things that happen. It really hurts our heart, especially for those of us, I call us animal empaths. Animal empaths are those of us who feel the emotions of animals, who feel deeply for situations. Emotion. There is a lot of noise going on out in the kitchen. All right, we're gonna chalk it up to the hubby. For all of the emotional situations and all the emotions that arise when we think about animals who are lost, animals who are separated from their families, the pain that they must feel, their confusion, their inability to escape danger, we think of movies like Bambi. If anybody remembers, like the original Bambi movie, where there's flames everywhere and the animals are confused and they don't know what to do. It doesn't quite happen that way. And that's what I want to share with you. I want to be able to help you not have as much of a broken heart about this as you might, because we can let ourselves. I used to be a complete animal empath, and an empath is a person who feels emotions so strongly that it shuts you down. I couldn't watch those commercials on TV. I couldn't watch commercials of Sarah McLachlan singing a tearful song, as you see pictures of dogs stuck in kennels and chained and being abused. I couldn't even watch them because the pain was too great. And until I learned Reiki. And then I really did learn a secret about how to let go of that pain, that the pain does not serve them. Any emotion that we feel that is sympathy or pity or sadness or anger or any of those denser emotions don't serve the animals. They don't need our pity. They need our compassion. They need our there's something more. I'll get to it. I don't want to jump ahead. because there's something that you can do. There's something you personally and that we together as a group can do, and it all has to do with coherence. And I will share a little bit more about that in a second. So the animals in the wildfires. When the wildfires happened in Colorado, and I was present, as an animal Reiki master, I felt compelled, and an animal chaplain, I felt compelled to be able to go help those animals. And there were a handful of us. We got in our cars. We drove to within the vicinity of the fire, so it's blocked off, right there. It's blocked off way before the fires. We get to those fires, and we simply said we would like to be able to help collect or help rescue or in any way possible help the animals, and we were declined. We were denied flat out, like turn your car around and go away. And we weren't being disruptive. We were in no way going to be interfering with anybody doing anything, but respecting that the people who were handling the fires knew what they were doing. We decided to approach it from a whole different way. And we decided to approach it from a place of heart coherence. And heart coherence is so much more powerful than you can possibly know. I would like for you guys to look, if you're at all inclined, look up Greg Braden, Gregg Braden, and the Heart Math Institute, and the work that they are doing with the way that our thoughts and our heart, when we can get into a coherent place of just coming from a space of love and compassion, how it shifts. And I'm going to try to keep this as succinct as possible. But when more than one person, like in the Bible, I'm not a big Bible person, but in the Bible, there's part of it from somewhere, right? It says, I can't quote you where, when two or more shall come together in my name, that's when, okay, Jesus didn't say that's when the magic happens, but that's when the magic happens. When there is a group of people who come together and they come together with their hearts in coherence in the same place, doing the same thing, it impacts this energetic field that we live in. And science is now, this is not it's no longer woo-woo. It's absolutely scientifically proven that what we live in is an energetic field. We are part of that energetic field. Our hearts are part of that energetic field. And if we spend all day long in a place of negativity, then that is the information that we're feeding out to the field. But if we can come together as a group and be in a coherent place that sends out loving energy that is directed at a specific thing, you can make a difference. So how do you know? And this is where I'm just going to keep it succinct. The Heart Math Institute, and I believe that the website is heartmath.org, is a privately funded, but it is a scientific organization of all different types of fields that came together to do this. And they have these things called random number generators, and they're all over the world. And they're getting more and more of them. And what random number generators are just numbers. I'm not going to explain this right. So it's like a computer that's always spitting out numbers. And when everybody's on their own track and there's nothing big going on and we've all got our own lives going on, it's just a series of random numbers. When they practice this coherence and they get a group of, usually it's like a lot, like 500 to 1,000 people or more, they'll get a bunch of people together. They will meditate together. They will focus on one specific thing. And the random number generators stop producing random numbers and start producing synchronized numbers. 111, 222, 1111, 1212, whatever it might be. They start producing synchronized numbers. So the point is that we are impacting this field of energy. And that's why this will work. We're going to do a meditation right now. Don't worry about the word meditation. If you're driving, it's fine. You don't have to close your eyes unless you want to. You're just going to follow along with my words. Now, the other thing that I'm going to suggest, one thing that I do, I'm all about the animals. I look for gifts from our animal companions. When I'm out in the wild, when I'm doing anything, I ask if there's a gift that I'm allowed to bring home, please show it to me. So I've got all kinds of things. I have a ton of feathers, so many feathers. That's just one of them. I have this beautiful little tail from a raccoon, a little piece of fur from a raccoon. I take this I think it's a raccoon. I take it as a gift that I was given as I was hiking. I have this beautiful elk bone This is just from an elk or a mule deer. I'm not sure which, but again, it was presented to me as a gift. I ask before I take it from its natural place, and I bring it home. As I was working at the sanctuary down in Florida, I got this little, and it's a little snake, but it was in a bale of hay. So as I'm taking the bales apart to feed to the horses, out came this tiny little snake skin. So I kept it as my gift. In the Hawaiian tradition, in the Polynesian tradition, every single living thing leaves a piece of its energy within its physical remains. So every time I have one of these, I trust that there is a little beautiful piece of wild energy still there. So if you have anything that is wild for you that you can keep in your hands, it's fine, but you don't have to have that at all. I just like to be able to collect those kinds of things. So this is what you're going to do. We are just going to sit here for just a minute or two. It doesn't even take, in the quantum world, healing is instantaneous, quicker than the word instantaneous. That's how quickly healing can happen. And the animals will feel this because they've got no doubts. They've got no they've got no preconceived notions. They have no judgment. They will absolutely feel the vibration that we are sending out into the quantum field, which knows no geography either. It doesn't matter if you are in Canada, if you're in the United States, if you're in Spain, England, Mars, it does not matter. There's space and time and all that is purely in our human minds. No such thing. When we send this energy out, it goes. It's instantaneous, goes to where it needs to go. Last thing I want to say about animals. Animals are very wise. They often know well ahead of time when to leave an area that's going to experience a natural trauma or any kind of disaster. Think about the tidal wave that hit India or Thailand, wherever that hit several years ago when there was, oh gosh, it was even longer than several years ago. Can't even remember. When that tidal wave hit, the animals were gone first. They are very, very sensitive to the vibrations of the earth. They know what's going on, they know what's happening, and they exit quickly. Domestic animals, those who are captive animals of any kind, now I use the word captive under human care, horses who may be in a barn, cows, sheep, chickens, not to mention our own family animals. Those are the animals who struggle the most. But in most cases, what happens is they release them. So there are safe places to go. So in Colorado, one of my friends ran a sanctuary that was on the outskirts of the fire. She opened her farm, and anybody who found an animal, anybody who saw an animal, onto the farm they came. So hers was a temporary sanctuary for any farm animals that needed a place to go. So there are, not only do animals leave ahead of time, there are other options for animals who are going to be impacted, but there's always going to be some. There's always going to be some who don't escape. Now, remember, keep in mind that all animals are on their own journey. And the universe takes care of them. The universe takes care of them. The universe will care for every single one of her creatures. And those animals, each on their own journey. What I felt in my heart is that they are in a place where they're not going to be able to stay in their physical body, that if you want to get angelic about it, that angels scoop them right out, that they leave their body before they experience all that trauma, that their soul flies right off into the universe. I know in the bottom of my heart, and that's something that you're just going to have to come to yourself, that the universe takes care of her animals, that every single creature is cared for. And we can offer this love to help them on that journey, to help them on the beautiful journey that they're on. So this is what I would do. And then we're going to talk about the full moon. Indonesia, yes, Sri Lanka. Was it as long ago as 2006? The nun. What about the nuns? Oh, the nuns. Did I say something about the nuns? I don't remember. Something about the nuns. Don't make me laugh before we're doing a meditation. All right, so this is all you need to do. It's this easy. We're all going to do this together. It takes only a moment or two. Just listen to my voice. In, again, the Polynesian tradition, one of the easiest ways for you to share the energy of your heart is to place your hand on your heart, one hand on your heart, one hand in the air. When you think of all the symbols that go like this, whether it's religious symbols or the Girl Scouts or the Pledge of Allegiance, um, taking an oath of any kind, placing our hand like this. And what we are going to focus on is amplifying the love in our heart. And you're going to visualize that it flows into your hand, through your body, and out this hand. And as it flows out the opposite hand, that energy is flowing, unified together, all of us. That energy flows out into the universe with our highest intention behind it, and it will be sent. It doesn't even have to travel. It's going to be so fast. The animals who need this energy during this part of their journey will feel it instantaneously. So this is all we need to do. I want you to take a deep breath, one hand on your heart, both hands on your heart if that's where you want to start. Focus on your breath. And as you breathe in, I want you to recall that you are breathing in the same beautiful air as every one of those animals. The air that you are breathing in is fresh and full and beautiful and lovely. And the air that they may be breathing in at the moment is harsh and hot and difficult. And so we are going to replace that air for them. So you are going to breathe in your beautiful breath. Allow your heart to fill with loving compassion, with beautiful energy that all is well, that all will always be well, that the universe is perfect, that everything is under control, everything is as it should be, all is well. Now breathe in, hand on heart. Hold your hand out. Allow that breath, allow that love to flow. We are in coherence. Every one of us is dedicated to creating a space of calm and peace and love and safety for every single animal that needs it. For every single animal, that they are free, that they are pain-free, that all is well, that there is beautiful safety, and that there is so much love flowing out to them that they don't have to have a single worry. They know that they are cared for. They feel the cleansing air that we are sending them. Nice deep breath. Feel that flow from your hand. Again, a nice deep breath in, releasing almost as if you're exhaling through your hand. Letting that flow, feel it. You may feel your hand getting warm. Let that energy flow right through your body, out through your hand, and know that the universe captures it instantly. We are creating a space of coherence. All is well, all is well, all is well. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Nice deep breath in. Just feel that. Just let it go. It'll keep on going. There is no separation between us and them. So that when we send them that beautiful, loving energy, it's instantaneous. You've created a wonderful space for them. Okay. Oh, it starts when I lean forward. Okay. Well, we'll try not to do that. I'll try to stay back here. Okay. Let's talk about the full moon, because right now we are sharing a full moon with those animals also. And we can send energy through the moon, and the energy and the moon can help us heal. And we're going to talk about that healing energy right now. Okay. And then you can ask me any question. If there's any questions that come up, I'm just going to take a look. Laughing at the husband, not the animals. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. And the nuns. Okay, so I will try not to have that. I don't know what that clicking noise is. It could be coming from my camera, but not 100% sure. So let's test it, because I'm going to lean right forward right now. I'm going to come so close and see if it clicks. No? Yes? Maybe? Okay, we're going to let it go. I need a drink. Oh, well, who knows? but it could be the camera because this is the first time I've used this camera. So that would be my guess. So the full moon, what is with the full moon? The full moon is so powerful. The Some people, I heard this said that the moon is always full, that there's never a time the moon is not full. The moon is always full. It's just our perception, where we happen to be located in the world, that lets us see a certain percentage of light on the moon, which is the case. But it is the perception of light through our eyes which gives us the power of the moon. I don't hear anything. Thank you for that. Oh, you're so welcome. The full moon's causing, hey, why not? The full moon's clicking for us. So this particular full moon is known as the wolf moon. Every single January, it's the wolf moon. There are different, every single month of the full moon has a different name to it. And I love when spring kind of comes around. I love the strawberry moon. I love the pink moon. The pink moon is when comes out when those first pink flowers bud in the early spring. So I love all this. So the wolf moon, why is it called the wolf moon? It's called the wolf moon. I'm trying to remember now. I don't have this in my notes. It's called the wolf moon because in the month of January, the sound of the wolves can be heard clearest because the air is so cold, the sound carries so clearly that and the moon does cause wolves to howl. It's not like a werewolf thing. It just is a thing. When the wolves howl, it's very clear to hear them. And so we should all just go out. Do you remember howling? Did you guys ever howl during lockdown, during the pandemic? But that's why it's called the wolf moon, because it is a time when the wolves are most active and when they howl that we can hear them the most. It's associated with heightened energy and introspection, especially in the month of January. The month of January is meant for us to go inside. Now, if we're in a different hemisphere, the folks in the southern hemisphere that right now are experiencing summertime. In the southern hemisphere, it's a little bit different, but it just flips. It's the same concept, winter or spring or summer. Our winter in January is meant for us to go inside. And I mean that metaphorically. I don't mean like inside indoors, but inside within yourself. It's meant for us to take a look at where we've been, to examine the things that don't serve us anymore, to decide what it is we want to let go of, to decide where it is we want to move forward. And there are lots of people who set New Year's resolutions. I'm not big on the New Year's resolution thing. I love to think about what I really, 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 what my inner self is really calling me to do, and can I do those things? And there may be some little goals associated with that, and there may be some actions that I want to take associated with that. But really, January is about going inside and really doing some self-examination. And sometimes people don't like to do that. You don't like to look at yourself. You don't like to look back and say, "Ooh, I don't know that I did my best the last time that I think about that I spoke to whoever." But that's okay. It's all good because you can ho'oponopono anything. You can always go back to any situation and change it. But it's about taking a look at those things, really taking a look. And if there are some darker parts of yourself that you're just doing it for yourself, you don't have to write anything down. You don't have to go talk to anybody. You don't have to let it be out loud. It's you and the universe having a conversation. And that's what January is all about. So this beautiful full moon is kind of the culmination of that. Now we're only midpoint, we're not even midway into January. So we're doing some self-introspection, but the moon is a wonderful way to cleanse. And I'm going to share with you some practices for cleansing. We talk about healing, and healing so we're feeling grief. We've experienced the loss of animal companions. For some of us, it's been a couple of years. For others of us, it's fresh. For others of us, it still feels as fresh as if it was yesterday. It doesn't matter whether it's been an hour, whether it's been a day, a week, a year, 10 years. There's always something there. Like I mentioned that it feels like a memory of grief now when it comes to Jack and Lucy and Winston. But, then when I see my husband thinking about bringing another dog into the home, it kind of freshens, things kind of get brought to the surface. So that's what January is for. And then we have this beautiful full moon, and full moons are they're just very cleansing. If you can go out and look at the moon wherever you happen to be, it doesn't. I went out tonight. I'll go out again early in the morning, and we've got almost close to 0 temperatures here. And just to look at that moon, and in the morning, the morning as the morning sun is starting to rise and the night is going away. What do you call that? It's not sunrise. It's I don't know. But that time when the sky is pink and the moon is still out and there's a morning star there, just letting you know, I still haven't found my lost key. Oh, wow. Uh-huh. Interesting. Forever called the Lucy Moon. Thank you. Yeah, is it right? The Lucy Moon. I like that. I like that a lot. From here on in, January is the Lucy Moon. Where was I going? I see the comments scroll by and it makes me look. So we were talking about standing out under the moon, looking at the moon, allowing the moonlight to come into your eyes. It's very important for your body to see the sunlight. It's important in the morning if you can get outside for early morning sun when those first pink and red rays are coming up. You want to get that natural red light, not red light therapy that you can get from turning on a little. I've got one here somewhere, right? Not one that you can get from turning on one of these little guys, but actual natural red sunlight in the morning. So if you can get out in the early morning sun for 10 to 15 minutes, that really does a whole lot of good stuff for your mind, for your brain, for your health, for your vitamin D, for all that, for your serotonin and melatonin, to do the things that they need to do. And then throughout the day, if you can get natural sunlight into your eyes, no lenses, right? So no contact lenses, no glasses. You want to go out and get natural light in through your eyes, through your actual eyeballs. And the sun is very important for that. And in the evening, if you can get that same red light as the sun is setting, your body really thrives on that. But the light of the full moon only happens once a month. Sometimes it happens twice a month. Only happens once a month. So the lunar cycle is a lot different. If you can get out there during that time and just let the moonlight flow into your body, let it just look at the moon. Even if you don't look, like I can't look directly at the sun, but I can like gaze off to the side or gaze down a little bit and have the sun still shine directly into my eyes. The moon you can look right at. Just stare at the moon and let that moonlight come into your eyes. It's a beautiful reflection of the sun because the moon itself doesn't have any light. It's reflecting the sun. So you're allowing that to flow into your eyes. And it just is, it's important for your, trying not to be too woo-woo, but if you really want to make connections with souls on the other side of life, moonlight is one of the most beautiful ways to do it. And it's known for healing. Also, the energy that it sends, even it doesn't matter if the somebody on the earth is not seeing if the full moon is not around all the time, but it's always full, it has the power to move the oceans. And anything that has the power to move the oceans has power behind it. And we can use that energy to heal. And I'm going to give you some practices, some ideas about that. So many traditions, all kinds of spiritual traditions, will do things with the full moon. Amplifies emotional, physical energy. It's the wonderful time for healing practices. So what are some things that you can do? And then I'm going to, I guess I want to talk about the phases of the moon first. Then I will give you the 3 rituals. And I'm really going to talk about the full moon bath, bathing in the light of the full moon. There is nothing more amazing than bathing in the full light of the moon. And I don't mean literally taking a bath, although you could if you wanted to. So what are the phases of the moon? There's the phases of the moon are every single day. I'm only going to take you through the 4 main ones. Every single time that the moon rises, there's a different phase to it. The new moon, so that's when there's no moon, when there's no light whatsoever coming from the moon. Sometimes you can still see it. It's kind of cool to look at the dark shadow of the moon. It symbolizes new beginnings. It's the time to set intentions, initiate any new projects, or if there's anything new you want to do for healing. Under the new moon, that's the time to do it. The waxing moon is as the moon grows. So as it starts to brighten again, it represents growth. It represents manifestation. It is when you can actually take steps. So you take actionable steps. I don't care if it's baby steps. You do one little thing every single day that moves you in the right direction, that moves you in the direction of what it is you want to accomplish. And then the full moon is the time for clarity. So everything should be very clear for you during the full moon. Heightened energy, clarity. It's the ideal time for reflection, meditation, releasing, letting go what no longer serves you. And that reminds me that I want to add one more thing to my moon rituals. I want to do my burning. And I don't have anything here. I wasn't prepared for the burning, but I can explain it to you. Then the waning moon is then on the other side. So as the moon diminishes, and I always feel just a little bit sad after the full moon. I'll go out there and look at the full moon, and then the next day, just a little sliver is gone, and the next day a little bit more, and the next day there's a distinct difference in the moon, and it makes me long for the full moon again. But as the moon diminishes, it signifies the release. So the things that you set your intention to release begin to release. They begin to let go. Any negative patterns, any bad habits, anything at all that you want to let go of, you set the intention during the full moon and you allow the waning moon to take it away. You can do all kinds of research on the lunar cycles if you want. There's so much information out there about using the moon for your own personal health. But I have healing practices that I think are wonderful with the full moon. So the full moon meditation would be much like we just did. A meditation is super easy. You don't have to do anything complicated. You can go onto YouTube if you chose, and you could look up different meditations. There are things that you could listen to, or you simply go. I like to be outside, regardless of the temperature. I like to be outside, but you don't have to be outside. Go outside and be under the light of the moon. I do have a picture of myself when I was alone. I was totally alone at the top of the mountain in my RV, just me and my 3 dogs. And I did choose to stand outside under the moon in my birthday suit. It just felt really liberating to do something like that. Like, I can't even imagine my 20-year-old self ever even considering it. So it took to be my 60-year-old self before I would do that. But I love just standing out under the moon, absorbing all of that beautiful moonlight. And all I do is focus on my breath. I focus on my breath and I think about what I may be hanging on to. I think about if there are, let's just say that there was a sadness for Jack. Jack is the one who's been on my mind the past couple days. I just ask the moon to take it from me, just to let my heart be free, to know that it's not diminishing my love for Jack, but it's letting go of the sadness, that I don't need to be sad, that I know he's so wonderful. His wonderful energy is still with me, that where he runs free without pain, that he loves every moment of his life on the other side. And I just release my heart from any of that heaviness. And you just focus on your breath. Meditation does not have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be this whole process. We just did a little process. Little one, hold your hand on your heart. Focus on your breath. Know that you're breathing in the same beautiful air as those animals. Hold out your hand. Let it flow. That's a simple, simple meditation, but it doesn't even have to be that. It can be so easy. Just breathing in and breathing out, feeling the energy of the moon. That light flows through that energetic field, the quantum field, the energetic field, the field of all potential, this empty space that for a bazillion years that science has told us is empty space, that we have thought of as just air here, we now know is full. It's so full. There's no such thing as empty space anymore. We understand that there are so many micro things that we cannot possibly see, but that we are part of. It is us. We are it. So just breathe in and allow yourself to feel that energy. Let the energy of the universe, just let it flow through you. And the moon is like a amplifier of that. It amplifies it and it shines on you and you can feel that energy. It is serene. And I love the word ambiance now. This serene ambiance, let it wash over you as you stand under the moon, just breathing. That's all you need to do. Set the intention to let go of those denser emotions. Let that moonlight carry it away for you. Simple, simple, simple full moon meditation. I'm going to check comments real quick here. Erin. Oh, hi, Erin. How you doing? If I could let people know, Kuda came to me the other night in a dream, felt him physically. He came to me to guide me in the 3D with signs that are just so obvious. Okay, Aaron, you have got this. And Fatima, you ask a great question. I think it's Fatima who asked the question. Yeah. Did Kuda just come to you in your dreams, or did you ask, or did it happen? We talked about dreams. I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but when we open ourselves to the possibility, they will come to us. And the more you practice it, the more they will come in. Aaron has done Aaron has done a lot of the work, but guys, so there is work that can be done. The practicing, the studying, the asking, the writing, the journaling, noting when you feel your animal's presence, noting what things you had done. You guys know I journal after journal after journal because I enjoy doing the work. I enjoy practicing the things that I know will connect me with my beautiful animal companions. So you can ask, Fatima, you can ask, or you can simply set the intention. And sometimes our dreams are a little tricky. Lately, though, I've been having crazy vivid dreams. Last night, a dream about a lion that was so real that when I woke up, I was certain the lion was in my room. But dreams can be tricky because they float away so fast. This is all I'm going to say about dreams, and we're going to move on to moon bathing. So when you wake up, the second that you wake up, you write down not what you remember. If you don't remember a dream, that's fine. You write down your thoughts, because the thoughts that your animal companion sends you during that time of dreaming can be the message that they are trying to get through to you. So there's a couple different ways to do that, but we'll talk more about dreams another time. Check the comments super quick. Think of your pets before going to sleep. Absolutely. You can put a crystal under your pillow. You can put their picture under your pillow. You can just go to drift off to sleep. Sometimes when I can't get to sleep, like if there's been a whole lot going on in my day and it wants to replay in my mind, all I like to do is think of Jack and Lucy. I'm like, Jack and Lucy and Winston. Jack running. Oh my gosh, Jack, what a beautiful lab. The only lab in the whole wide world that hated the water. I swear he was a cat. So I'll let those thoughts go through my mind like, oh my gosh, Jack, how can a yellow lab not love the water? You silly, silly boy. I know you were just a cat in a dog suit. And I'll let all of these beautiful thoughts run through my mind as I fall asleep. And that's when you dream of them. All right, let's talk about moon bathing. This is a really, really cool one. This is called a moon bath, bathing under the light of the moon. In the truest sense of the word, if there was any way possible, I have not found the way yet for me to do this, but I would do it. Bathing under the moon would be sitting in a stream, a small river, a lake, the ocean, being in water with the full moon shining on you. That would be the most ideal situation I could think of. Because especially now that I think about the ocean, because the ocean touches everywhere. The same ocean that touches our feet if we were on a beach in Florida is the same ocean that, even though we've named oceans differently, it's all one big beautiful body of water. We humans are the ones who decided that we're going to call one the Atlantic, one the Pacific. All of that water is connected, and a whale off the coast of Australia is feeling the same water as you when you put your feet into the water and experiencing that beautiful full moon. So that would be the ideal way to have a full moon bath, would be to submerge yourself in water while the full moon is shining on you. It combines all of the healing properties, not only of water, but also of lunar energy. So you've got the water and the lunar energy. So there's some things you can do though. So you don't have you don't have a creek, or or your creeks like here are frozen over. There's nothing you can do about that. But there are some alternatives, which I'll tell you in a minute. If you were to bathe, so if you've got a nice beautiful tub and you wanted to take a bath, if you had a window where the full moon was shining in, beautiful. Not a lot of people do, but if you did, that would be great. But you don't have to have the moon actually shining on you. Just during the period of the full moon, if you were to take a lovely bath, you were to put some Epsom salts or some lavender or some other essential oils into your bath water, if you've got some candles lit, you do a little ceremony, a little cleansing ceremony. So you are releasing and cleansing from you the denser emotions of grief. You are releasing and cleansing from you the denser emotions of guilt. You are letting go of any anger. You are washing away all of those things physically, washing them away from your body, letting the water heal you, letting the energy of the moon heal you. Beautiful way for healing is to actually take a bath. But again, not everybody has a tub. I miss my tub. I moved away from my beautiful tub. I now have a shower. So what can I do? There are some things to do. If you've got a shower during the full moon, what I like to do is stand in the shower, and I prefer warm. It doesn't matter, whatever temperature you like to do. I let that water, I let the shower flow over me, and I imagine that it is the moon that is showering on me. I just visualize that the full moon is shining right above my head, and all of that water flowing onto my body is coming directly from the moon. So that is another way that you can do it. But you don't have to even have water. Where's my other notes about the moon bath? You can do something called a foot. Oh, if you've ever done a foot soak, foot soaks are really, really cool. Those are a way of releasing energy through your feet. Now, this is for anything. We're focused on releasing and healing, releasing the energies of grief and guilt and those denser emotions. But you can use this for anything at all. A foot soak is where you just take a beautiful bowl of some kind, you fill it with water to the temperature that you want. Same thing as with a bath. You would put in Epsom salts or lavender or any essential oils that you like. You could put in coconut oil. There's anything that you would normally use in your bath, you can use in the foot soak. Your foot, it's a detox essentially. Those negative energies will flow from your body out through the bottom of your feet, and the water happily accepts them. This is the other thing about water. It is self-healing. You can take that water, and when you pour it down the drain, whether it's the sink, the tub, it doesn't matter. You pour it with the intention. Water is self-healing. It will absolutely take that energy from you, and it doesn't contaminate is the word I'm looking for. It does not take that negative energy and then let it flow into the rest of the water. The universe heals it. Mother Nature heals it. The air heals it. So you don't have to worry about that. But that foot soak is another way of doing a bath without actually getting into the bath. All right, I'm going to check the comments real quick. Time to get a hot tub. So let me tell you about this really cool thing. My sister-in-law got this. I don't see her on here this evening. My sister-in-law got this. She has a portable tub. It's a blow-up, like inflatable tub, and it fits inside of her shower. So it's this beautiful thing, and it rises pretty high, and the thing pumps up just like an air mattress, and she fills it with hot water and has a bath. So there are portable tubs, and yeah, time for a hot tub. That's right, time for a hot tub. Okay, so what else can you do? You can do moon water. Moon water is so cool, and you can use it at any time. Now, I called it holy moon water, going back to the nuns, going back to the Catholic school. I was raised with holy water, and every time that you walked into church, there was a little carafe of holy water on the wall. You tucked your hand in, and you made the sign of the cross. And it was water that was blessed by the priest, is essentially what it was. You can create moon water. It's so amazing. If you have a glass jug would be best. Glass is the best, but it doesn't matter. If you've got some other kind of container that's what you want to use, then use whatever container you've got. You fill it with water, and then you set that water out under the full moon, and you let it sit there all night long. And then you bring that water back into the house, and I keep it in the fridge. I keep moon water. And moon water, you can use it for anything. You can use it to bless yourself if you choose to. You can use it to cleanse crystals that aren't damaged by water. You can use it for anything. You can pour it into your bath water. You can mix it with your drinking water. You can make coffee with it. You can use the moon water and the energy that has been infused from the moon into that water. And that's another way that you could do the bathing. It's a symbolic thing, but it's a cleanse nonetheless. What else did I say I was going to do? Let's say that you're in an area where you can't see the moon. What is it that you do? That's totally cool. You don't have to see the moon in order to feel the power of the moon. The full moon, the energy is there no matter what. That power and energy of the moon is there. You can just visualize it. You can stand outside and look to where it would be. You don't have to actually see it. It's nice to see it. I love to look at the full moon. Tonight, when I did right before the class, when I went outside, it was smaller. In the morning, right out front my front window, it's huge. It's enormous, but it was much smaller. But there's a planet right by it or a star right by it. And the cold air around the moon. If you've ever seen a ring around a full moon, that's also cool. What that little halo, it's like a rainbow that goes all the way around the moon. Very, very cool. It usually only happens in January and February, the coldest months. So you don't have to see the moon. You can simply feel the energy of the moon and know that it's there. You can visualize the moon for yourself. You can bring up a picture of the full moon if that's what you wanted to do. You could do it on your phone, on your laptop. You could do that. I do want to talk about journaling in just a second, but there are also crystals. I wanted to have my crystal here and I didn't do it, my moonstone. Moonstone and amethyst for me are the two most powerful under the full moon, but you can set your crystals out under the full moon. If you're a person who likes to collect crystals, I love crystals. I know that they've all got different meanings and different purposes. I just love them. I just love crystals. They're fun. They're beautiful. They're so pretty, but that you can set them out under the moon. Some crystals are respond to daylight in a not great way. Just like you wouldn't put too many crystals. There's some crystals you wouldn't put directly in daylight, amethyst being one of them. You wouldn't put crystals directly underwater because it damages them. But you can set them out under the moonlight. So you can line your crystals up, set them out under the moonlight, and set the intention for them to cleanse, for them to be free of whatever energy they. I personally don't believe that crystals take on negative energy, but it's everybody's personal belief and intention behind that. So if you would like your beautiful crystals to be completely free and clear, you set them out under the full moon and you let the full moon cleanse them. And then you can take your crystal and for dreaming, the moonstone or the amethyst or whatever, put it under your pillow, put your rose quartz under the pillow, and fall asleep with that under your pillow, having been cleansed by the moon. And that's another great way to feel that lunar energy throughout the month. Not just on the night of the full moon. You can do it at any time and have that lunar energy flow through you. The other thing that I was going to share with you that I didn't think to have prepared, and I'm looking around to see if I've got anything that I could do it with, and I don't close by, is a ritual burning ceremony. And I'm going to share two things. I've done two other things under the full moon. I do these during full moon. I love full moon get-togethers, like when we get together in person around a campfire. I had this stuff called fly paper. You can get it at any metaphysical store. You can look on Amazon for fly paper. It's very, very wispy paper it's so thin. You could see through it. It's so thin. And you take a pencil and on this piece of paper, you write the thing that you would like to release. So I would like to release the guilt that I carry about the passing of my beautiful dog, Jack. I'm just using that name. I'd like to release that guilt. I would like to let it go. And you write that on the, so tonight I release the guilt that I hold for Jack and let Jack know that I love him. That's exactly what I would write. And then you take that little piece of fly paper. I have a little shell that I use. I have a little shell, but you can use any kind of a bowl, any kind of a container. And you set the little piece of paper in it and you light it with a match and the fly paper just disintegrates. It just disintegrates. And as it disintegrates, I do it under the full moon and we just imagine that it's floating away. If I do happen to be around a campfire, we take that fly paper and just drop it into the fire and all the little ashes just float away under the campfire. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful practice under the full moon. I wonder if I can do that. In February, I'm going to be down at 3/7. I will post the specific date for you guys. And I wonder if it'll be during a full moon. I'll have to take a look at that. But I might just do a campfire anyway for the fun of it. And then the last thing is a cacao ceremony. If anybody's ever heard of cacao, CACOA, it's the rawest form of, it's not cocoa, it's not chocolate, it's its own, but it's the basis for chocolate. And cacao is what it's called. And you get ceremonial cacao. And ceremonial cacao, you just put it, I put it in a little glass, and I add a little bit of almond milk, a little bit of agave just to sweeten it up a little bit. And it's warm. It's like a little hot chocolate, only I only put it in like a little shot glass. And then I just sip that under the full moon. And the cacao, there's something magical about that pure chocolate that flows into your body. And of course, if you're allergic to chocolate, as I used to be for many years, I was allergic to chocolate, and especially the heavy duty, like pure cacao. But that cacao ceremony, so imagine doing that all together. Everything that I've just shared with you, you have set the intention that you are going to release the grief, you are going to release the guilt, you are going to release the anger, you're going to do it under the power of the full moon, feeling that beautiful lunar energy, allowing the lunar energy to cleanse you. And you've got water, and you do a cleansing ceremony. You've got your mind and your heart, and you do a little meditation. You then take a drink from your cacao. You write your little intention out on the paper. You drop it into the fire. You watch it float away. The moon has just cleansed you in every way possible. And it's not just the power of the moon. It's the power of you. You are the lunar energy. You are directly connected to the moon. You are directly connected to all energy. And when you set that intention and you open your heart and you do these, there's nothing magic about these rituals other than the fact that you have put intention behind them and you have asked the moon to be your partner, and that beautiful healing energy then does all the work and everything is released. And that is how true healing occurs. That is how the true healing occurs, is by recognizing that everything you need is already inside you. It's already there. And we've got a beautiful thing called a full moon to help us. You use that as your guide. You use it as your amplifier. You use it to help open the energy that's already within you. And that's how we heal. Okay, let me see if I didn't miss anything that I wanted to share, because that last little bit came from the universe. It was not in any of my notes. I will check comments one more time. I need a P.O. box or a mailing address. Oh, well, we can connect after, Lauren. Thank you so much, because that would be beautiful. But I think that you're talking to me anyway. For all I know, you're talking to Aaron. Yeah, I would have to figure something out. Planetary alignment is happening in February. Oh, okay. So I'm going to make some notes about that. Where's my calendar? I have this little calendar here. You guys can't see it, but where's my February calendar? I will be in Florida at the Animal Sanctuary from the 2nd through the 15th, and I'm thinking of doing a one-day event, either the 8th or the 9th, at the sanctuary. It's just going to be open. It's an open thing at the sanctuary. We're going to be doing Reiki. We're going to be doing communication. We'll be doing some mediumship. All the animals at the 3-7s Animal Sanctuary, they have been my co-teachers now for 7 years. I think I've been going there for 7 years. And they are freaking amazing. And there's animals of all kinds, because there's animals that have crossed, horses that have crossed, goats that have crossed, chickens that have crossed, and then all the animals who are still there. That Sueño, an amazing horse that is magic. She is pure magic. She's a white horse, and if you look sideways, if you just kind of glance out the corner of your eye, you can see she's got a horn. That she's part unicorn. But I will. That's going to be the 8th or the 9th. I haven't kind of solidified that yet, but I can let you guys know that. And so if anybody wants to come and meet in person, I'd be happy to do it. All right, folks. Okay, talking to me good things. We'll have to. I will have to figure something out. Yes, because I haven't ever done that. Had a kind of a mailing address kind of thing. But maybe it's time. All right, my friends. Thank you so much. Thank you, Aaron. Oh my gosh. I will tell you, I don't want to be like falsely humble, but humble is what I choose, is what is the word that I use for it. Um, I don't know where some of this stuff comes from. I am called to study it. I'm called, but then beyond that, I'm called to share it. So for some of you are with me when we've been talking about human design and understanding how our bodies and minds are made up and hearts in the time that we're born and the place that we're born and all that stuff. And um, I just know that I'm compelled to share this. And I would love for as many people to hear these messages as possible, because I think that there is like this crazy amount of people that are awakening to all these possibilities. And then as we all heal together, that the heart coherence thing that we practiced earlier with the wild animals, it's going way farther than that. It's going way, way deeper than that. We are making a huge impact. It's almost like the universe itself is growing through us and the things that we talk about and the things that we do. We are creating a shift that is, I don't have the words. I just don't have the words, but I didn't mean to go down that path either. All right, you guys, um, have an awesome night. I love you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Have a beautiful night. And if I'll see some of you during the week, otherwise I will talk to you guys again all next Monday. Take care, everybody. May animals light your way. Bye-bye.